What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to Gamer Credits. This is going to be season 2, level 2. Let's introduce the players. Player 1, we got Captain Starchild.
I'm not player 1, but I would say, hey, what's going on, everybody?
We're mixing it up. We can't always have the same player 1, same player 2. Gotta switch things up a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody gets their own spot to shine. All right.
Really messed that man all up, kid.
Yeah, I wasn't ready yet, man. I was
Good,
waiting for
good,
VP.
good.
Oh, this is dope. All right.
Then, of course, we got player number 2. It's your boy Kid Dream. What's going on, everybody? You
Yeah, I'm
thought
all
I was
confused
doing.
now, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Keep y'all on y'all toes. Okay.
Hey, I ain't mad at it, man. I'm not mad.
And then, of course, player number 3, your boy BP.
You know what it is. What's going on, y'all?
Cool,
Is
cool,
it?
cool.
So I just
That
get
is
like
it.
silence after all that. Like,
I know. I'm like, that's
okay.
it. That's like, yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
just
all I
waiting on
got,
more,
man. You know what I mean? Because, hey, you mix it up, I mix it up. Okay. That's all
Okay.
I got.
All right. Okay. Nice. All right, gentlemen, before we begin, let's talk about these gaming moments of the week. I'm going to let you guys think about it. I'll go first this time, mixing it up, feel something different.
Yeah, do it, man.
So I did a thing this past weekend. BP actually let me borrow his copy of Horizon Forbidden West, so I was playing a little bit of that this weekend.
Nice.
So far, so good. Like I was telling BP the other day, it's pretty much more of the same, which isn't bad, but it's almost like playing the first game all over again. But for some reason, while I was playing that game, I got an itch.
You went to see a
Play.
doctor? Oh, I'm sorry.
I did get treated for it, and the itch was for resubbing to Final Fantasy 14, which is an MMO.
You
that
did
I
not.
I
Not
did.
again.
I did. Again, I don't know why, BP, when I was sitting down playing Horizon Saturday, I was like, yo, this is fun. And then like my brain was like, yo, you should play Final Fantasy again. And I was like, oh.
That is wild. That is wild.
And so I got
Wow.
to a stopping point and I was like, bump it. I'll just sub for a month and I'll see what happens. And so I pulled out my credit card and gave them some money and updated the game. And
Jeez.
can't tell you why.
Wow,
See, where else
man.
you can get this, ladies and gentlemen, to come on the show and hear this man do a do a correlation between Horizon Forbidden West and
It was
Final
so
Fantasy
weird.
14. Yeah, that's very weird. But
I,
hey,
I
Yeah, man,
just,
they're
I was
both open world games, aren't they? Maybe.
uh,
kind of. Final
yeah,
Fantasy not as much. I mean, it has open world segments, but it's more not. It's not fully open world.
Okay. Never
so
played it.
well,
It's an MMO. Think like World of Warcraft.
That's why I never played it.
there it is.
Yeah,
There it
that
is.
and it's one of the few games that require a monthly sub.
Oh, okay. Well,
It's been going
that's
strong still, right?
2 reasons why I would never play it.
Yeah,
But cool, man.
I think recently with the latest expansion, it's become the most popular MMO, surpassing WoW. I think.
Hmm.
Hmm. Yeah, I
So
think you know what I do. Yeah, because people have been talking about it, man. It's been one of those games where I just feel like I don't hear much from it anymore, and it's like okay, people it's died on, but then people like Kid come around and hey, man, I resubbed. What?
uh, real quick, I will tell you they the director Yoshi P is really crazy, like amazing. And with the things that they do, because the last expansion that just came out a couple months ago, it was so popular, right? Like it was so popular, they had to stop selling it because the queues were getting too big. They're too big.
I
Like
bet.
Hmm.
they pulled
I've
it off
never heard that
digital
before.
stores. Exactly, yeah. They pulled it off digital stores. They said, "Sorry, you can't buy this right now because we have too many players. We got to make sure the players who did buy it could get in. We got to suspend sales." Like, what other company would do something like that? Or what, game would do that? It's crazy.
It's a very
Hmm.
rare thing. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You
That's
would
pretty
think
wild,
that
man.
they would expand their actual whatever back end equipment to support the newer users, but they are
Well,
just saying no. We're just going to completely stop anybody else and let
well,
these other people just enjoy the game.
they they were trying to expand the servers to allow more players, But from what I'm hearing, because of uh, the world we're living in right now, where everything is on short supply, um, being able to buy servers right now
That makes
was
sense,
hard.
man. Okay,
It
so
was, it,
that's
it
the
was
real
amazing.
reason behind it. Ah, okay. So did they
Well,
actually say that too in their public statement, or that was just something people did research and found out?
about the servers being hard to come by.
Yeah.
I think so. I can't remember. I can't remember if I heard that from somebody else or if that was an official thing from them.
Okay.
But it did they did see a huge surge in players. A huge surge with that latest expansion, and a lot of it has to do with World of Warcraft being in the state that it's in. With Activision Blizzard and
Hmm.
the way that game is now. So a lot of people were looking for a new MMO home, and so a lot of people jumped to Final Fantasy.
Nice,
Ah,
nice.
makes sense. Okay.
But
Hey, that's dope.
yeah. What
That's
about
crazy. I can't believe it still, but
I know, I was shocked when I saw that. I was like, they stopped selling it was digital and they just stopped selling it. Like you for like and for like a month or so too, a long period of time. You could
Mhm.
not buy it.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. That's just mind blowing how well that game's doing even to this day.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And it deserves it because it's one of those games, and this could be a topic one day, guys. It's one of those games when it first came out was terrible. It was
Yeah.
terrible, but they stuck with it,
Alright,
you
so like
know?
Seinfeld, man. First season, not so good. Stick with it. That's all you gotta do. Never give up.
Stick with it. Yeah, yeah, and you can one day be the most popular MMO in the world.
Hmm.
Guess one of us thinks that, but hey, there you go.
Yeah.
I'll never get inside. But anyway, we're not gonna whatever.
That's a whole
What
nother
a
type of
That's a whole
podcast, man.
nother thing, man.
Yeah,
But
man.
I'm gonna leave that alone.
what about you guys?
About you, Star? Or where you want me to go?
Oh no, BP, you go because you're player one. So
Ah, so you trying to okay. It's
Nice,
too late for that,
nice.
sir. But anyway, I think I got like two real quick. One, I think I finally have perfected my builds for Ghost of Tsushima or Legends of Tsushima.
Okay.
After all this painstaking time and doing purifying those doggone curse objects. But yeah, I finally think I got that down and was pretty much burning through the waves in the survival mode pretty good. So I'm happy with it. I'm at to kind
Okay.
of show off some gameplay of that, maybe in a live stream if we do that, some point soon. And the other thing is I actually had a bit of nostalgia and started watching some of my old Destiny videos that I uploaded on YouTube like forever ago.
oh yeah.
A lot of the multiplayer games that I played, and yeah, it felt good, man. Because I was like, man, not to brag or nothing, but man, I used to be a beast in that multiplayer, man. Like seriously.
Destiny
Yeah.
1 or 2?
Oh, one,
Both.
yeah. Well,
Both.
yeah, but I have more videos of one.
Hey, Destiny 1, that
Man,
was a good game.
dude, I love that game so much, man, and like I wouldn't even really have got into it if it wasn't for like Star and the rest of our friends, our
Yeah.
mutual friends. But I'll never forget when Star was getting on me about that game for the first time. Yeah, I'm about to bring it out, Star. So you just prepare. But when I got in there, man,
Hey,
it was
yo, I
like,
just want to say I'm about to leave the show. I'll be back because you're about to destroy my character, but
yeah, I'm not
I'll
gonna
be
destroy it,
back next
man. It's
time.
just no, no, no. It's a funny story. So real quick, like I'll never forget. I got into the game, and I'm new to it, right? I'm still trying to get things down, pat as far as weapons, how they feel. And I'll never forget. I jumped in with Star and the rest of our crew, and I think I made the mistake of calling the gun the wrong name, and Star just went in on me. He was like, "Nah, man, look, it's not
Dang.
that. It's this type of gun, man. Look, if you're gonna get in here, you're gonna need to know your weapons." And I was like, "Oh,
Wow.
okay." I was like, "Yeah, you know what? You got it, Cap. You got it." I don't think he
Hey
was known
man,
as Cap at the time, but I was like, you got it, man. I'll
Dang.
get it right.
Do
And
you
not,
remember what
huh?
gun it was?
I really want to know. I don't know if it was I don't know if it was an auto rifle, scout rifle. It was something, but I just remember getting the name wrong or just not knowing the name. And he was just like, "You need to know the name, man. You got to get with it."
Wow.
And the funny thing is not long after that, I think we did a raid for the first time, um, and correct me if I'm wrong, Star, but I think you had got the Gallahorn, right? The rocket launcher.
you know it was a Galahorn, man.
Okay, now I'm just making sure because I didn't know if he had got it or not. But I remember he came out and it was like, "Yeah, what is this Rallihorn,"
Oh,
and I was like,
no.
"Wait a minute, now this dude just went off on me like a week or so ago,
No.
and
Oh
he
man.
doesn't know the name of this weapon."
Of
Like, it
the
was just
most
funny,
popular weapon in Destiny 1.
and that's what got me
Listen,
because I'm like, "Wait
listen,
a minute, I don't know what to believe anymore."
listen. What happened was
Okay.
Destiny Destiny has so many weapons. that you
Yeah.
just don't know sometimes what weapon you get until you read a name. In my entire existence on this planet, I have never saw the word Gallahorn written anywhere. So I was trying to pronounce it. I was just trying to figure out what this word is. It doesn't stand out like it should sound that way until someone tells you that's what that word is. I apologize. It
Yeah,
happened. I
I'll be
mean,
honest with you. If I had to just read that word without hearing it, I would not have been able to say it.
thank you, man. There you
And to be
go.
fair, I think that's
But
most cases for everybody, but yeah.
that was the most popular weapon in Destiny 1, so
But then they
I
had
don't know if
other
you really get a
ones.
full grasp.
Uh,
Especially if you talk about, like, OG Destiny 1 before any expansions and stuff like that, like,
Oh
yeah.
that
yeah,
was
after
a
that, the Gallahorn
must-have
became.
weapon.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was like, man, people sought that weapon for like, I mean, I didn't get into like, later on when they were giving it away, and by that time it was like worthless.
I
Yep.
funny story real quick, I'll tell y'all, uh, in Destiny 1, what was it? The Nightfall, I think what was it? What's the reset? Tuesday nights?
Tuesday
I
nights, I
think it was
believe.
Tuesdays,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that's right.
So I back in the day I had to work at a fast food restaurant on Monday nights. So after school, I had work and everything. And my brother at the time was he's younger than me, and so he didn't have work, so he would come home and play video games. And so at the time we were playing Destiny. So what he would do for me a lot of days is Monday nights he would him and a friend would run through the Nightfall for me,
Hmm.
and then right at the end, he would have me join so I could get the rewards. Like he would just turn on my Xbox, sign in, or join the fire team, and just have me sit in the corner somewhere so I could get the rewards. I'll never forget. It was one night I was working, um, and he would always like shoot me a text with what I got, just to kind of show me the rewards. And usually it was trash or whatever. But I'll never forget. He texted me. He was so mad. He was like, "Bro, I am pissed at you." I was like, "Why? What's wrong?" And he sent me a screenshot. I got the Gjallarhorn and he didn't, when I literally did nothing to
You
get
did
it. I was
nothing.
at work. Yeah. It's the funniest thing, and it took
Ah,
him a long time after that to finally get it. It
So
was
you were
so
one of
funny.
those guys.
I listen, I
We know that, right, Star?
oh yeah,
listen.
yeah.
People like that get their son to play their accounts
Yep.
while they stuff away. Then they got
Hey,
all this
man.
stuff, and it's like, yeah, how'd you get it? When'd you get it? Oh, I don't know, man. My son played for me. Oh,
Or
oh, okay.
roommate.
Roommate too, yeah.
Nice, nice.
It's
There
like,
we
oh,
go.
you one of them? Okay. The rest of us just grinding, but all right.
Hey, I gave him his props. Listen,
He's
I
getting
shoot, I told him, "Thanks, I appreciate you."
for
I
what that
mean,
was
did you
worth.
bring him some food back from your job? Is the question.
Exactly, something.
I don't even remember at
Oh,
this point. Probably not. Probably not.
Oh Lord.
yikes.
Wow. Well, Star, let's get into yours, man, because he's starting
Yeah.
to get me hot. Because
Yeah.
I'm starting to. Oh.
Oh, man.
Um, Player moments. No, the only game I'm playing is Overwatch. So
That's really
technically,
sad.
it's not because it's for me it's therapeutic. So I think
But
the only thing that I'm currently doing in this game is trying to get these gold weapons or golden weapons, and
that's the goal.
I'm close. I'm very close. If someone wants to join up and help me in competition, I can have it sooner. So I have to depend on randoms.
Ah.
But for right now, that's it. I got no player moments. I'm just closer than ever before to get my golden weapons.
Let
So,
me ask
Star,
you.
let me ask you. You
Oh,
go first, kid.
I was just real quick. Do you do ranked or casual?
casual. Yeah, nobody.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Well, he does rank for
Got
the. You do like
I,
competitive for the.
I mean, I do
Trying to
the
get weapons.
competitive just for the
Yeah,
weapons. That's the only
yeah.
reason.
But
Yeah.
most cases,
you.
you're just doing casual.
Got
So,
you.
but no, but Star, like, so when's the last time you played the Switch, man?
Um, 2 weeks ago now.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm
because I
playing
was
Mario
wondering,
Kart.
like, yeah, because I know when you say Overwatch, I be thinking like, I know he plays a Switch. He's in a Nintendo. Like, I know he be playing other games.
Well,
Yeah.
I've stopped playing most of the games on the Switch until my nephews or my niece come over. Like
Ah,
that became our thing. That was when they come by, we do whatever multiplayer game there. Because again, most of the consoles kind of left that type of arena to Nintendo to continue doing the multiplayer, locally for the most
got
part
you.
for a lot of the games. So
Mhm.
that's my multiplayer local console. So
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 real
I
quick, how do you
yeah.
how do you feel about Breath of the Wild being delayed? Like,
Um, I think anything being delayed because they're working out, whatever bugs or improving on the game, I'm okay with that. But I hope they
Okay.
give us some insights onto that because I don't think they gave us much details.
So
No, there's
transparency,
not.
right?
Yeah, there's not a lot of information about it just yet.
So
Which I kind of figured it's gonna be delayed because I'm like, we got like what 2 trailers and like barely any information. They don't even have an actual title to announce just yet. I'm like, there's no way it's coming out this year. Like it's not ready yet.
I mean, do you not
Uh,
see what they're trying to do? They're gonna be releasing that Switch Pro, and I think that game might be one of the actual release games for that console.
that'd be
So
smart. That's what helped the Switch sell so much was Breath of the Wild, the original. So
Well, you bring up something interesting, Star, because I was wondering, like, if maybe they just aren't saying a lot because they're still trying to figure things out, and they maybe don't want to put it out in people's minds that, oh, it's around the corner when they got a lot more work to do, or maybe they're worried that things aren't working out with it, and it may not even come out for even longer. I'm just kind of curious about the lack of transparency with that.
no, it's from my perspective with Nintendo.
Mhm.
When they do certain games where it's using the exact same, I guess we call it, engine, it doesn't take long to build a game. So if they're taking longer on this game that's using the same engine, they may be using new hardware to
Mm,
try to perfect it.
okay.
So I think that they're working this game to run on the new system. And so they want this to come out with that system. So it's going to be a pretty big announcement, not just getting the next Zelda game, but hey, more beefier Nintendo Pro or Switch. That's just
well,
my prediction.
I'm looking forward to it because I that's my biggest complaint with the Switch is it feels so not very powerful. And I mean, granted, most of Nintendo's games don't really require like this big beefy graphics card and processor and everything. But I mean, at the same time, you want to have these bigger, beautiful, open world games and these different things, and
There's
it's
a lot of
easier
those
with
games, man. I think what you're trying to
yeah, but
relay out there is that Nintendo doesn't do a lot of the
but
big games that runs on the more powerful systems, but it runs some big games on its own.
But I'm just saying, it's 2022. It's unacceptable for games to run at 30 frames per second, and that goes for
Whoa, whoa,
consoles
whoa,
as
whoa, whoa,
well.
whoa, hold on.
Oh,
Correction. Most of Nintendo first party games run 60 frames. That's a known. There's a couple games that do dip beneath the 60, but yeah, they try to reach 60 frames for most of their games. First party. Now, the third party, it's up to them to figure out how to optimize the games.
Nice. Y'all figure it out. Yo. Nice. Lord have mercy.
well, there you have it. Get on it,
You,
third party.
it's I'll say this. It's gonna be depending on how the Steam Deck performs. It's gonna be interesting because it might give Nintendo not necessarily a run for his money, but it might make them have to do better because the Steam Deck is obviously it doesn't have the Nintendo games on it, but I mean it's pretty comparable to a Nintendo Switch, and it has it can play modern games, with a pretty high frame rate. It can play Elden Ring, a brand new game that just came out, and run it, relatively at a decent frame rate. So it's gonna be interesting to see that, as we get, the Steam Deck introduced now,
Here's
how
the thing
Nintendo
though. The
plays.
Steam the Steam Deck is necessary. I mean, it's like never stop an industry from growing. I mean, I think this
Yeah.
is a good step.
Hmm.
But what was that one platform? I think it was Google was trying to throw this out there and was
Stadia
giving that's the name? Yeah, there we go. Yeah,
for
so
streaming.
just like most games or most new systems or anything new that they're trying to do, you can't just put so much trust behind it because many not saying many, but most new gaming consoles or games, people buy it because they trust the developer, or they trust the maker. And Nintendo has a huge catalog of games that made us trust Nintendo a lot. Not saying that no one's not going to trust PC and streams with streaming games or Steam Deck, but it's still new. I don't know if it's going to bring the numbers that you think it might bring. It may do so over the next couple years, but I think it's going to start small.
Well, I
That's a
would
strong
give it
word,
to
but
you. Yeah, I would agree with you if it wasn't the Steam Deck because I think that's one of his biggest advantages is that if you already have a PC or do any PC gaming and you have a Steam account, it's
Mhm.
compatible with all those games. So it's not like you're buying, this random console, the KFC console, and it can
I forgot
only
about that.
play, yeah, it can only play KFC games. Then yeah, I would say absolutely. It's you gotta prove to us that you're worthy of it. But the fact that you can play any of the Steam games that you already own on your PC now on the Steam Deck. I think that's what really gives it its leg up, is the fact that you have that library already. You already have all that selection of games. You don't have to worry
I'm
about
I'm
like
I'm just
random
saying
games.
it sounds promising, but until people get their hands on it, we got to see we can trust them or not. And I feel like it's a big promise that they're making. I just think that they may not, deliver the way they want you to think they can deliver because with any game, they can run a certain way depending on the hardware and depending on what type of optimization they're doing on those games. You might come across some issues after playing those games enough times. So, not saying they're perfect. I'm not knocking them. They should try to keep going this route, grow the industry. But I just don't think they have that name or that backing to give us that trust value yet. That's just me. But it looks
Um,
cool. The concept looks cool.
well, I mean, I'm with Kid on the fact that the trust thing is kind of there with the Steam because Steam's been going strong for a minute, so I think that'll carry over to that. Um, and
But that's for
obviously, do you
PC people.
make
I'm talking about
well, good.
gamers in general.
Mhm. No, I mean, I'm just saying it's like I put more weight because and what I wanted to touch on when you said Google, I mean, I don't think anybody really went in trusting Google with Stadia at all. I mean, we were actually confused more than anything. And not only
Yeah,
that, but Google, because again, Steam, they look that whole idea and concept. I mean, obviously it's going to have it's going to have its flaws at surface, and this, the people behind Steam haven't always been having this. They didn't always have always like perfect streak or whatever, right? I mean, I'm sure they had their hiccups throughout the
yeah,
years, but compared to something like Google, I mean, Google, we've seen them shut down how many projects? Like, you know what I mean? Like they put out so many things out there, they shut down like soon after. So and not only that, but they were just kind of jumping into this thing without really kind of. Doesn't seem like any real vision for Stadia. So
No, not really.
yeah. So I mean, I don't know. Like, I mean, you could be right, and it may end up not being as big as people think, or it may start off good and then it ends up, waning off because it's not, holding that traction. But I don't know. Well, I guess like you said, we'll have to see. But at the end of the day, Nintendo, I think this is good for them to kind of see that this is happening and that, kind of forces them to be like, all right, we really need to come knock it out the park for our next console or whatnot.
They
yeah.
never get forced. I'm just
I
saying
just,
you're not
Yeah, I
being
know they
forced to
like to
play
do
those
their own thing, but I'm
games.
just saying, like, because I mean, look, you get the Steam Deck, you already got people running like the emulators running Switch
Oh
games
yeah.
on there.
Oh
So,
yeah.
and those are some of those, from what I heard, run better than what it runs on the Switch. So yeah, they're gonna have to do something.
They
Like,
I
they
just,
say, they say that, but again, here's the
oh, I've
thing:
seen the footage,
Nintendo. Oh
so
no,
I'm
I'm
like,
saying,
whoa,
but here's the thing: Nintendo basically made that game, so you're trusting Nintendo. Is not the fact that it's running better on the system. You're playing a Nintendo game, so Nintendo's name is even being more pronounced when it's being used on those other platforms. To where Nintendo, when they do release the next, console, that might make a lot of people who never, got into Nintendo games, could never bought the consoles to think about it at that point. So it could be a win-win if Nintendo doesn't shut down how these people are getting these games on those Steam decks.
oh yeah, they've already been going after people about that anyway. But
Yeah.
I was just making that as a point to say that, yeah, like you can't, for whatever reason, if they decided, oh, we're going to do like a minor update to the Switch OLED and call that the Switch Pro or whatever, it's like that ain't gonna fly, man. Like that's, you know,
yeah, and that's kind of what I was saying. I just want them to have some more beefier specs. Just something a little more powerful. Like it doesn't have to
mhm,
be obviously this whole big like 4K 144 frames, and like
mhm.
this crazy upgrade. But it just come on, what is the screen now, like 720p? Like come on,
Yeah.
Mm,
Hey,
come
so let
seven.
me,
on.
Hmm?
but But question for y'all, like, where do y'all think they would go from here? Like, when you say Switch Pro, for example, Star, do you just feel like they're gonna keep that formula of what they got now, of the handheld switching to, like
Nah,
station console, or do you think they're gonna do some
they
crazy
already
new thing like VR, like
they
VR headset out of nowhere or
they
something?
already did two versions of a handheld combo, or what you call it, the hybrid console.
Right.
So they already
Mhm.
did two of those. They got the light and they got the Switch, and maybe three. We can consider the OLED. The the Switch is a name for the brand, but not the name of the exact function of the actual console. I think the
Mhm.
next Switch might be a standalone console. It
Okay.
won't be a hybrid because
Okay.
it's going to be using, I believe, a AI system that allows for a lot of the games to go towards 4K. So
Mm.
they still don't need to put too much in towards the hardware to make the game or the console or the dock itself more expensive because they will use software to run most of the upgraded graphics. So Nintendo's being smart. They're not going to be forced. They have planned stuff out for the next 20 years. I believe.
Okay.
Dang, 20 years. You get far ahead.
Hey man, hey man.
Hey man, you sure you're not secretly working with Nintendo, man? Something we need to know about?
It might be.
Hey, I would love for Nintendo to hire me in some capacity, but no, it's like when I was a kid, I used to wish Michael Jackson was my adopted dad. That never happened, people.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
No, hey, I don't know. I just gave out some type of weird secret. No one else had that type of fantasy, but yes.
Nah, I mean, I can't speak for myself on that, sir. I know, but I mean, look, I understand. I understand. It's Michael Jackson, so
I mean, back in the day, for all the younger people who don't know the Michael that we knew back growing up, I'm sorry, not the
Yeah,
Michael
this
you
is
know today.
pre-allegations,
This is
right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I figured you were going there, but I appreciate you making it clear for the audience, like just in
Dang.
case you were wondering. No, this is before all that. But yeah.
But yeah. Well, I mean, cool.
So, so you guys want to open up your wallets? I think there might be something for sale pretty soon.
Are you referring to Tiny? Was that Tiny Tina?
No, I am not. I still want to buy that game. It's
Okay.
still on my radar.
All right.
I'm talking about something a little more expensive. Talk of the town is that Ubisoft might be available for sale.
mm,
Oh,
Ah,
right. Okay. Yeah. 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 I
yeah.
was hearing a little bit about that. I see
I
what you
think
did
what
there. Okay.
Elon is looking to buy them. What's going on?
Hey, I mean, he can afford them probably.
Yeah, pretty
Yes, he
much, man. Just
can.
bought
Yeah.
Twitter outright, so I mean,
Watch 44 billion. So I'm
Jesus.
sure he could slide a couple $60 more towards Ubisoft.
Just like this strange movement I've just been feeling like lately, where it's just like $1 billion moves is like this new trend thing.
So let me ask y'all. You think if Ubisoft were to sell, would they do it in tiers? A gold edition, a day one edition, a digital deluxe edition, or could you
How
just
much?
buy the company outright?
I mean,
mm,
given the apparent, word on the street and dire straits they're in, I would imagine just wholesale at this point.
wholesale. Wow.
That y'all didn't get the joke, man. Y'all suck.
Oh,
Hey, you
I'm
know what?
sorry. Oh
That's fine.
man, this
Yes, because
jokes
Ubisoft.
are jokes are funnier when you explain them. What happened?
Oh my god.
Well, I don't know about
Like
that, sir, but okay.
you know how Ubisoft has, the gold edition and the diamond edition and the digital deluxe. There's like 50 billion editions of a game.
Yeah, of course.
So I was saying
Uh,
when they
yeah. I
sell
mean, I
their
see what you mean.
company,
Yeah.
how would they sell it? Would they sell it as a standard edition, a day one edition, digital
Mm,
deluxe edition?
I
Well,
think
I mean,
I think they probably will sell it as tiers, but if you get the higher tier, you might get some additional loot boxes. So it's possible that they
Hey,
well, I
might
was gonna say
yes.
they would sell it as a premium tier, but it would have to come with a bunch of other stuff wrapped
well,
in there. You know what I mean? Like
Uh,
maybe some businesses on the side that nobody knew they ever had that you had to include in the package and stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like an
so
all-in-one type of deal.
so first question. If this is true, it's just rumors, it's nothing that's confirmed yet. If this is true, how much do you think Ubisoft would sell for? What would be the price?
mm,
Well, man, that's a really good question. I don't think anywhere near Activision. So
Oh
let's just
God,
go ahead
no.
and get that out of the way.
Yeah,
I can
nah.
see them trying to push for that though. It's like, well, we
Oh
do
yeah.
got Assassin's Creed and
Hey, you
Watch
seen a new
Dogs.
Far Cry? You got a new Far Cry
Far
game to
Cry,
drop?
yeah, we got Far Cry. I mean,
Hey man,
we
come
have
on.
we have A-list, talent, man, in those games. Come on, gotta help us out." It's like, I don't know, man. I don't know about all
Tom
that.
Tom Tom Clancy's? We got Tom Clancy.
Yeah, we got that, right, right. So, if I had to guess, and this is probably gonna be a bad guess, but I don't know, maybe somewhere, maybe 10, 20 billion. Maybe I'm undervaluing them.
You know, that's you're right where I'm thinking. I'm thinking 20 billion,
20
about
billion,
20
yeah,
Mm,
okay.
billion. Yeah,
you
because you
have
gotta
to.
think. I mean, they have a lot of big franchises.
They do.
Say what you want about their reputation these days, but
Mhm.
you got Assassin's Creed, Watch Dogs, Far Cry, Tom Clancy, which is his own special thing. They have like big franchises. They might be doing bad right now, yeah, or be under a lot of negativity. But I mean, some big recognizable games. And if we look back, Bungie was sold for what, like 3 or 4 billion,
I
uh,
believe so, yeah.
and then Activision for 70 billion. So I could see Ubisoft wanting it easy 20 to 30 billion because of all their IPs that they have ownership over.
I was going to say, I didn't know how much the last company sold for. So you said how much was it for?
Which
From a
one?
Bungie?
Yeah, not Bungie.
Activision?
Thank you. How much it
Uh,
sold for?
it was like
56?
it was, no, it was like 70.
So that's the
No, no,
thing.
no.
Like,
No, no, it wasn't that high.
it was that
Yeah, it was
high?
like 69, right?
Hold
You just
on.
want to say that number. Let's look it up.
Ha
Does sound like a good number, man. Shoot. You imagine getting that?
Hey, listen, man. This is a family show. I'm just gonna keep the
Yeah,
joke at that
s
level.
68.7 billion.
Oh, sir, it
Oh, it is
was.
68.7 billion. Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
so around
So here's the
70
thing. Why
billion.
would Ubisoft sell short if they can see that they can sell for that high?
No, they're not. Mm-mm. No, at least my opinion. Hot take. I don't think so. I think they
Huh.
get laughed out the building.
Yeah, they might. I agree with Star. They might want that. They might say, "Run me that 70 billion real quick, buddy." But I'm with you, BP. I don't think any
Mm,
company would really pay that because it's got some big hitters, but I mean, not as big as Activision Blizzard. Like that.
yeah.
That was a big dog right there.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no, no doubt.
Because I think what people might overlook with Activision Blizzard, but you got to keep in mind the last part. Activision Blizzard King, and y'all
Mhm.
know what King makes?
No.
Candy Crush.
Oh goodness.
You know
One
how
of the
much money
biggest mobile
Candy
games.
Crush makes?
Yeah.
Yes.
Telling
You
you,
know how much
man.
money Candy Crush makes, bro?
Hey, stop it. Let's
That,
not even go there, man.
that
That's
by
woo.
itself, dude, is
Mm,
insane. And they
yeah.
Yeah.
got all that before you account for Activision or Blizzard's games. I mean, that
Mhm.
game alone. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't. They might want 70. They ain't gonna get 70
Yeah. I just don't
billion.
see it, man. If that happens, then yeah, just color me shocked. I mean,
It,
and I
it
don't
might
think because
happen
even if they
though.
did do that, I mean, who would even be able to? Let's say that people were willing to say, that's a reasonable price. Who would front that? I mean, would
Uh,
Microsoft do it? I mean, they did that big acquisition already with Activision Blizzard. I don't know if
Yeah,
I mean they got deep pockets. I'm not saying they can't. It's just like that's a lot of money to
that is a lot.
invest, and you know what I mean between companies like that. So I don't see
Yeah,
it.
that was my
But
next
you
question
see,
is, who do you
but
think
I was
would
gonna
buy
say
it?
though, oh, not to cut you off, but I wanted to say this part about Microsoft. Like, they don't buy, companies so that they can make some great changes and make more money. They like to buy companies just so they can just bury them. So who knows? Microsoft might just spend 60 billion so they can just not have that go to anybody else. Like, make it to where Nintendo can't get those IPs or Sony can't get access to those IPs just on, out of spite.
No, I don't believe so. Only because I think they do. They try to foster the competition, like they believe in that stuff. So I don't. I mean,
Microsoft?
yeah, for the gaming landscape. I'm not talking about the company itself, like the main PC part of it. I'm not talking
Yeah,
about that.
it's
But
all the same.
but the gaming, at least for
Nice.
now, from what I've seen, it's just no. I don't see that.
Because
Alright.
That's just my
I mean,
opinion.
it is a good question. Is like, who could afford them? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure they would come for a big asking price. And so I kind of I'm with UVP. Is like Microsoft just spent $70 billion to buy Activision. Like, Lord knows what, Ubisoft really would go for. Who's to say
Right.
it wouldn't go for 40, 50, 60 billion itself? You know what I mean? Like, so I don't.
I'll
You
tell
got to
you
see
who
if
would
they
have did it.
couldn't.
I'll tell
Who?
you who would have did it. If they would have had their stuff together. Google.
Yeah,
Wow, that would be
I
that
really
interesting.
that
think they
would
would
have
have.
been
If they
that
would
would
have
have
had
been
if they
cool.
would have had their stuff together, I think they would have made that move.
I tell you what, if they did and they put the games on Stadia, I probably would have subbed to Stadia.
Yeah. It wouldn't have hurt. Wouldn't have hurt. But, you know, pipe dreams at this point. I
Yep.
mean,
But it'll be interesting. It'll be really interesting to see if this is true and if they really are thinking of selling and if so, who ends up buying them? Because I mean that's a big company. I mean, and I'm gonna be honest, I would have never thought Activision would have been sold. So once I found out that was real and they were really Microsoft really bought them, all bets are off. I could see any of these companies, EA, Ubisoft, Bungie was just bought. I could see any of these big publishers being bought up and wanting to be sold and bought up. Honestly, these days.
mhm. Well, since just real quick take on that, like just for fun, how much do you think EA would sell for?
Hmm.
Oh man, you know, now that especially now that they don't have the Star Wars license exclusive to them anymore,
True, true.
um, and then Battlefield's so terrible, I would say less than Ubisoft, man. I would say like 10 to 15, maybe 20 billion at the max.
Ooh, that's pretty low, man.
Yeah, I mean, because they're just like they have some big hitters, but I mean, nothing's working for them right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. No, you got a
Other than
point.
like, other than Respawn Entertainment, like that's like the only company doing good for them.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah, honestly, that's kind of a good point. That's kind of a good point because, like you said,
I
they don't have the
apologize that we're
yeah.
laughing at someone else's failures, but
Oh man, yeah, that's
No,
true, true.
but I mean, honestly, they did lose that Star Wars license, and
Yeah.
what else? Didn't they lose? When are they in danger of losing something else too? Wasn't
Oh
it
yeah, the
FIFA or
FIFA.
something?
Yeah,
Yeah. So now that you're
yeah,
saying that, I'm like that actually kind of tracks a little bit because they are losing these big known IPs that they had.
yeah, man.
Um, and not to mention that like when's the last time you heard anything good about Madden or anything like that? Like I mean.
Exactly.
You still got the player base out there. No disrespect to them, but even they would call out EA
Yeah.
often on their BS. And yeah, it's not. Wow, man, you brought up a good point. I might have to rethink that because I was thinking it'd probably be on long, maybe it's a little bit less than Activision, but now that you bring all that up, I'm like,
Yeah, I
he's
mean,
not wrong.
maybe 5, 10 years ago, yeah, absolutely, but
Yeah.
they've just I mean, and granted, they definitely made some mistakes before, but I mean, they're just really it's like fail after fail after fail. It's like,
Hmm.
yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know, man.
Yeah. Because I'm with you on that. Yeah. I mean, now it's funny. Now the funny thing is they seem to do well with like at least because I know that one single player game they had with the was it Fallen Order?
Yeah, which Respawn.
Yeah,
That's like their
it's funny.
only good
Exactly,
company.
exactly. So
That
you're
and
right.
Apex. That and Apex right there.
That's
That's
right.
it right for them right now.
Well,
It's
it's
like,
funny you said that because I was thinking Apex, but I totally forgot about
yep,
Fallen Order. So yeah, you're right.
yeah,
That's
yeah, and
wow.
it'd be interesting to see with BioWare whenever Dragon Age 4 finally comes out. Because, honestly, I know we've this kind of been a talk before, but if Dragon Age 4 flops as well, that might be the end of BioWare, which, I mean, granted, BioWare is probably a shell of what it used to be anyway, but they
Mm,
might actually do another Visceral and shut the studio down.
yeah. Well, it's EA, so now it's out of the realm of possibility there.
Hmm.
I still get mad at them about the Dead Space franchise.
Did they
Hey, though,
sabotage?
remake.
Well, yeah. I mean, what happened to that studio, man? I mean, it's like,
Yeah.
I love that series, man. I really did.
Yes,
But
they
I know
can
they're
do a
doing like
live
Keep coming.
action movie.
you said what now?
They said they can do a live action movie off of that IP. I mean, it's possible right now with the type
Hmm.
of work, like not the world, but the type of movies that Hollywood's currently doing, or even Netflix is doing. That someone can pick that up and make that into a great movie.
Wouldn't be a bad idea, especially with the remake
Yeah.
coming out a little bit, at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. At some point.
I know that's all I got. It's funny because I seen the gameplay of it and it looks nice. They seem like they're doing a lot of great things with the community feedback. Like just as an example, I don't know if y'all seen that video they showed about how they changed the sound of the weapons
Oh,
to
okay, interesting.
to reflect what the community's been asking for. Like how I guess because they were kind of going in on the old games, like man, these games are great, but this sound effect's a little unrealistic or whatnot. And they literally show like, all right, here was it before in the original, and then here is it now. And I'm just saying, like, I mean, I don't know, it just impressed me, man, because
Hey,
they were just showing that
sometimes
stuff, and I'm like, wow.
here's the thing. Sometimes you lose your creative edge if you sit back and listen to all the couch potatoes. I understand the community should have an input, but if they end up getting their way and they make the game that the community asks for and the community doesn't like, whose fault is it? I think they should take a chance and go with their own, vision and just hope the community accepts it because I think games are supposed to have that next person's stamp on it, not just let's make it exactly the way it was before, but here's some things as a armchair player that I would like to see. I mean, yeah, a lot of games I would like to see different, but I'm not a designer. I think that I should trust their expertise. And if I don't like it, I just don't like it. And the feedback I give is that I don't like it, but I don't want you to change everything up because these are the things I want. I'm not the designer. I want to trust them to do a good game. And basically, if that's it, let me judge it at that point.
Well, I'll have to slightly disagree with you on that. Matter of fact, I won't even call it a disagreement. I'll just say it's complicated in my response. Just because I think so. I always think back to the example of the Sonic movie. You know, when they
Mhm.
revealed it, because I remember, right, when they first revealed that Sonic trailer, the original trailer,
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and how they were roasting, like the community roasted Sonic.
Yeah, that was
And what
bad.
ended up happening, yeah, it was bad. I mean, I think most of us can agree
Well,
on that.
here's
And what
the
ended up happening, they
that's
changed.
that's different though, because that's
Is
an
it?
actual movie, and Sonic is supposed to look like Sonic, and they did something crazy.
I guess what I'm saying is, if they didn't listen to that community feedback, said, no, you know what, guys, we know what we're doing. We're gonna do it this way because this is our vision. I don't think that movie would have done nowhere near as well as it did.
But
So I think
that's
that.
what I'm getting at though. Like as a movie,
Mhm.
that what I was saying won't work. As a game and a developer, I think that you have to stick with your vision. As a movie, your icons are important. You don't just nah, that Sonic that they made in that first trailer, it was scary looking. It did not have anything Sonic to me. I don't know what that thing was. But yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
Mhm.
for movies, input, yeah, you kind of do want to get a test audience to kind of test the movie before, you release it, because you can make some changes on the back end before it goes out.
Right, but
But
that happens with games too, though. You do have testers in games that do the same thing.
are they testing it to see if they like it or testing it to make sure there's no bugs?
Well,
Well,
yeah,
you
I
do get
mean,
the tester for the bugs, but you also get the testers of people who actually react to the game because that's kind of like the vision that's kind of like their way of knowing, like, okay, the direction we're going, we got a select amount of people to kind of review it or to look at it, to check it out and give us their thoughts on it. I
Yeah, we
mean,
don't
I
have a
think that would work.
gun.
I think that would
Okay,
work for any kind of entertainment medium.
but here's the thing now, the ones that they do get to test their games, I mean, I'm not knocking that system, but if you're gonna get me to play a game, like if I want to be invited back again so that I can test your next games, I'm not gonna feel comfortable giving you my truest my feelings. I ain't gonna tell Nintendo that, oh no, this game sucks. Because Nintendo might be like, oh, we don't value your opinion, and we're not gonna ever invite you again. So I don't know if that even works when you have people that you think you want to trust to test your games. I think the true market would be just having a blind test to have someone that doesn't have any affiliation with the gaming industry and get their views on the game. Because again, every gamer is different, so you can't really ever judge how a game will respond when the thing goes out in the public. I don't care how someone may say they like the game, and they're in the industry and they're expert in playing games. I just think games and movies, I have to judge them different.
well, I'll say
I don't
this.
know.
Uh,
I think you can like you gotta find that balance between Both, I think it's important to listen to the fans and what people want, but I think also as a, creator and developer, you do have to go with your own vision and gut. And I think some good examples of that, kind of like what we talked about in the beginning. Final Fantasy 14, it released, people hated it,
Mhm.
people were outraged with it, and what did they do? They took the criticism, they listened to the community. What do y'all like? What don't y'all like? Let's go back to the drawing board. Let's try it again. And now it's the most popular MMO in the world. You look at the same thing with like Rainbow Six Siege. It released and people hated it. People complained and told them what they did and didn't like. And now it's, a really good and popular game out there. So I think it's important that you take into account, your fans and what they like and don't like. But at the same time, you do as a developer, you gotta do things your way as well, but I don't think you can go too far either way because then it's like, you gotta find that balance between the two.
That's agreed,
This
agreeable.
that is
And
definitely a
let's
good
and
point.
let's
Balance.
Yeah, but let's understand this. Like when I was referring to the Dead Space thing, these are like minor like sound changes, to the game. Like it's not like they
Yeah.
said, "Oh, well, people are coming in saying I don't like the way that corridor looks, so I want you to change the whole thing." Like they
Yeah.
didn't pull like a full like Disney with Mulan, where they're like, "Hey, our Asian market doesn't like, how it was portrayed in the cartoon, right? So do
Yeah.
it the way that they want to do it." And yeah, and you see where that went. Like that, I mean,
Oh, man.
that movie did not do
Terrible.
nowhere near as good as it should have.
Terrible.
Yeah, so I think, because again, and I say that out of respect, Star, because you do make a good point as far as there's only it's like kids said, you do have to have that balance. Because if you do go too far and you keep listening to a certain market because you're so worried about that, that crowd or group or whatever, and then end up putting something that like a whole lot of other people hate that you didn't see coming, that's a problem. So yeah, I mean, you're right on that. I just feel like in this matter here is just more or less like almost like one of those little kind of like fan service deals where they're like, hey, we're listening, we're doing our thing, shaping up to be the way we're envisioning it, but thanks to you, we've polished it even more. I guess is the way I look at it.
And it's weird too, because when I play that game, I don't remember the guns being that type of an issue for me. But again, I've never been in the military. I'm not a gun owner, so to me,
Well,
that's not an important aspect. But
no, and
I,
the funny thing is, I'm with you on that because honestly, when I saw it, I was just like, oh, that was a thing. Like people were complaining about the sounds. Because I was okay with it out and one of the reasons because this is sci-fi. It is
exactly.
a sci-fi horror. Like that's like going into Transformers and complaining like, oh, why did the Transformers guns sound like that when they discharge? I'm like, dude, this is a movie about robotic aliens. Like I don't, I don't understand where you're getting that
He wants some
notion of
realism
it's
now.
not.
He wants some realism
Yeah,
now.
it's
Like,
just
oh, like,
yeah, it was just like it just reminded me of my dad when I went to go see Transformers, and he was just like, and to be fair to him, he's ex-military, so I get it, but like he was just going in on like the whole battles, and man, no, they're using this when they need to be shooting this from this, and da da da. Oh, I don't have a recoil like that. I'm like, Dad, it's a movie about robotic aliens, like I don't.
Yeah.
He was just getting really upset, and I was like, "This so much so that I don't even think he enjoyed the movie because he was so upset." And I was just like, "It's a movie, Dad." Like,
he was looking for that realism, man. It's like,
yeah, and it's important, but my goodness.
yeah.
So,
Wait,
I
I'm
hmm?
glad. Well, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna make another point about Transformers, but I'm
oh,
good. I'm good.
I was just gonna say I'm glad. I think it was BP who brought up Tiny Tina's because I'm still trying to get y'all to buy it with me. you
I've
know.
been thinking about it more. I've been breaking down slowly.
Yeah, I'm still thinking about it. Hopefully, in the more I think about it, it should take about 2 months where the price drops.
Nice, nice. And in 2 months, I'm gonna moved on. I'm either gonna moved on to something else, or I would have caved and bought it and beaten it, and don't even want to play it no more.
Uh, that's how it goes sometimes. Now, I was actually thinking about it because I think I got some war points set up for one of my cards, so I might end up
Eh,
using
eh,
that. Yeah, I
Hey,
know, right? I might
that.
do it, man. I might do it. I was kind of hoping
Yeah.
out hope that maybe Game Pass would have somehow acquired
I
it,
know, I
and I would have been
know,
like, "Oh
dude.
yeah, let's do it." But
That's
yeah,
always the hope is that like, oh snap, the game you were waiting to buy is now Game Pass or something. That's always the hope. And sometimes I get lucky. I got lucky a few times with Code Vein, Scarlet Nexus, and a couple other
mhm,
games.
right.
I didn't buy it. I was like, oh, I'll buy it when it goes on sale or when I get some free time. And then I look online. I'm like, oh, it's on Game Pass now. Perfect. All
Yeah.
right, cool. It's always a good surprise. It's like
Oh
Christmas
yeah,
came early.
definitely.
But all right. I think that was a pretty good one, y'all. Anything else y'all want to discuss or to say or?
I did want to kind of. Well, I mean, we can wait till the next episode you want, but I did want to kind of go into like a discussion about the From Software like Souls games. But
Oh
Yeah,
like I
that's
said, we
gonna
can.
be a long conversation.
yeah. All right, we'll
That's
make
what
that
I
our
figured at this
first
point.
discussion next
Like
week.
yeah, and I know Star's getting hungry according to the chat here.
Oh
Uh,
man, you seriously
Chat.
just did that?
Oh, did he
Oh,
put
I
that in
surely did,
chat?
man. I
Did he
surely
put that
did.
in chat? Oh,
Yeah, I'm
snap.
looking at it on the screen now. It's all good, man. I'm using this as
It's
a way of I'm using this as your out. You know what I mean?
uh-huh, uh-huh.
You know,
LOL.
this
Nice.
is this is a
Nice.
natural this is this is a natural podcast, man. I want everything to just be fully natural. But yeah. So I mean it's cool. We can wait. Matter of fact, we can use this as a little preview, for the next episode. You know.
Cool.
Yes.
So
Got
all
some
right.
new stuff coming next week about From Software and difficulty. Ooh.
That's one way of selling it, kid.
Yeah,
Proud of you,
gotta
man.
keep them on the edge of their seats, and hopefully, maybe some of these people on this show might end up buying Tiny Tina's. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, it's a good possibility, man. You're wearing me down.
Yeah.
One can dream.
Mhm.
Hey, it's a lot cheaper than buying Ubisoft.
Well, yeah, that is a bonus.
Look
That
at
is a
it that
It
bonus.
way.
it
Although
wasn't
you got,
like I was planning on buying Ubisoft, but yeah, I see your point.
hey man, why not,
Uh,
man? I'm
Oh,
sure we can pull some resources together, right?
yeah, sure. You know what?
Yeah, nobody believes that at all. Yeah. Well, I guess moving on.
Jeez. All right. Well, thank you everybody for listening to us ramble for a little bit. It's much appreciated. Much appreciated.
Oh yeah, man. Always a pleasure. Always a case. I want to go ahead and I think I finally got the social media accounts up now, so I'm gonna go ahead and put that in the description. I'm not gonna sit here and try to read all that off now, but I will put it in the description of this episode. So just be on the lookout for that, guys.
Nice.
Alrighty then.
Well, I
Sounds
guess
okay.
yeah, I guess so. I mean, I guess
Alright.
that's it. I know Star's hungry, so we ain't gonna hear nothing else
All
from him.
right. We'll catch y'all on the next one. Let's get it.
Yep.
All right.
All
Everybody
right.
stay safe.
Yep. Peace out.
Peace.